There is a new hype today about ebooks. Hello everyone! Today I will look at the future of reading for college students and address the issue of is there comprehension differences when it comes to ebooks and printed books through primary and secondary research that I have collected. What exactly are ebooks? Kindles, Nooks, iPads? Things that look similar to books with the white screen and the text, but aren't books. So, what is it about books? Why are we hanging on to this old source of information? We're in the information age, right? Shouldn't we be moving beyond books, newspapers, and magazines? Digital technology has been normalized in all generations and fully integrated into our lives. That is why this is a very important topic, not only to me, but to all of you sitting out there. Some professors are now only offering their learning materials online. Ebooks are being offered at more reasonable prices. There then is the choice of picking between the traditional classroom setting or taking classes online. Everyone wants to get what he or she paid for, but unfortunately people sell themselves short when it comes to an education. The first readings took place over 5,000 years ago, and now we have these ebooks. Futurists believe that the digital formats and material are the next stage of evolution. Just a few decades ago, it was all print. Hours used to be spent reading a book, and now it can take minutes on each site. It's very true with internet that there is a lot more information available, but secondary research shows that that doesn't necessarily mean it's beneficial. The way that the brain stores what we read does have an impact on how we can remember what we just read. If you're reading from a screen and jumping from point to point and you're going from hyperlink to hyperlink, later you aren't going to retain the same amount of information because your brain is multitasking. Although there are benefits to doing this, there are also concerns that go along with it. Who in here has read a book and got lost in a whole new world? Today, 1 in 5 young adults say that they don't read for pleasure. That is about 6 of you in this room. Yet all of us in this room surf online, check ESPN, scroll through Twitter, or even shop online during class. When you're online clicking from site to site, you're activating pleasure sensors in your brain. That leaves us coming back in maybe an hour or so to check that social media. Yet a side effect of doing this could be attention deficit disorder. Many of us, as we study on our computers or iPads, will see or remember something online that will slowly but surely take our attention away from studying. So does this mean ebooks can be a distraction while studying? When you are online clicking from site to site, you are activating pleasure sensors in your brain. That is what leaves us coming back in maybe an hour or so to check that social media again. Yet a side effect of doing this could be attention deficit disorder. Many of us, as we are studying on our computers, will see or remember something online that will slowly but surely take our attention away from studying. Reading electronically isn't all that bad though. You're able to access huge databases, it is fast, there is a variety, and in most cases it is the cheapest route for broke college students that don't want to lug around a heavy text. Jim Johnson, Indiana State doctoral student research shows that students at undergraduate level perform well whether it might be reading print or digital text. Not only is his testing that he did very applicable, but in his article both sides of his comprehension of p-books and ebooks are represented. There is a lot of research out on this topic, but no clear-cut answer on which reading format grounds better comprehension. All similar tests done have had the same results. When I went to do primary research on comparing the comprehension differences in ebooks and regular books, I posted a survey online to undergraduate students of Ball State. I got 45 student survey respondents, and my survey was 10 short questions, and the last question asked, do you feel like it is easier to learn using a textbook versus an electronic book? If yes, please specify why. The respondents were not required to answer this question, but 3 responses that I got were, I don't necessarily think it's easier to learn since it is the same textbook. However, I think reading a book can be less distracting than using an electronic device. Respondent number 2 said, I think it honestly depends on the situation. Most of the time I enjoy using electronic versions because I can highlight and leave notes directly on the page. Also, an electronic device is not as heavy as the majority of books. Another plus is I enjoy that electronic versions are a lot more accessible. As long as you have at least one electronic device on you, you have never forgotten your book. And the third respondent that I'm going to read is, yes, remembering where certain information is on a page helps recall my memory more, and being able to actually hold a book helps. In the following video, you will see the other 9 questions that I asked and their responses. Question 1. What year are you in school? Majority of the survey respondents owned an e-reading device. Nobody owned a Nook. How often do you use technology on a daily basis for schoolwork? Data shows that almost 100% of students have had an online class. Do you use an electronic device to take notes in class? This information was the most interesting to me because majority of students picked textbook over ebook, but in this result it shows that if the electronic version was cheaper, they would buy that instead of the textbook. Neuroscience studies show that this is dividing us up into 2 groups of people of the screen and people of the book. In other words, it is more of a preference, but both ebooks and printed books are going to be around for a long time and is worth looking further into. The change from print to text is inevitable, but there isn't strong research supporting either side of how college students comprehend materials either electronically or digitally. As of right now, one is not better than the other. It is a preference. I hope that all of you take something away from this presentation when you have to decide between electronic books or textbooks. Thank you.